Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Zach Young, and in each episode, we're going to cover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we're joined by Max Avshalumov, CEO of Max Av Companies, a selling leads and ads agency specializing in scaling high-ticket brands and growing e-commerce portfolios. With over 9 years of experience, Max has built and scaled businesses, including an 8-figure e-commerce brand. He excels in leveraging strategic digital marketing and paid advertising to drive measurable business growth and client success. Max's practical and data-driven approach to marketing growth strategy sets him apart as a leader in the industry. Max, a very warm welcome to Founders Future.
Thank you. Thank you for the intro. That's good, man. That's very ego stroking. Very cool.
You're good, man. Very cool. I'd like to start from the beginning a little bit. So before you got into the high ticket space, selling leads and ads, what were you doing and what was really your inspiration to get into this space?
So funny story. I went to college. I was pre-med at first. I volunteered at a hospital. I'm like, no way. I was like more drawn to selling pharmaceuticals and stuff like that. I don't think I would be the best clinician. I'm not wired that way. I'm more of a businessman, salesy guy, and pivoted from pre-med to accounting because I'm like, I like numbers and money. And so I'm like, I'll just do that. And then my friends, they had like a startup and they brought me on as the accounting guy or whatever I was. And then I was super gravitated towards the internet marketing side. I think I'm just like, this is so cool. This is so cool. I want to do this. I was just so pulled by it. I hated accounting. So I was just like, as a college kid, I was just so pulled towards the marketing, social media stuff. It was just so congruent to my DNA. Because back then, at least, there was no like high school, college major for ads or internet marketing. So it's my first exposure to it. So I pivoted to the marketing. And then I eventually became a managing partner of the company. And that's the brand that eventually became an 8-figure brand. We started as a software company that failed completely. And then we pivoted to e-com. And so we were a software company for sports organizations, sports leagues, high school leagues, stuff like that. We were building software to manage the sports and recreation stuff. That did not work. We did not do a good job. And so we pivoted. So we were really good at the product was pretty bad in my opinion, but we were really good at sales and marketing. And so so we have all these relationships with all these sports organizations, athletic directors, high school coaches. They don't want our software product. However, can we sell them something else? So we made the software product free as like a lead magnet. And then we started selling custom uniforms. So it's literally like basketball uniforms, football uniforms, because there was a very strong online need for a really good, automated, helpful custom apparel supplier. Because 10 years ago, whenever this was, 7 years ago, whenever it was, everybody would buy uniforms from their local shop. It was a very local business type thing. It was like bakeries or whatever. Nobody orders cake online. You go to a bakery. Same thing with custom uniforms. So it's like local high school coaches would go find a shop in their area and they would buy uniforms for their coaching. So back then there was this huge demand where instead of going to a local store, which is inconvenient, you don't know when they're open, you go inside, there's 2 people. It's like these weird shops type thing. It's like, whenever you went to a shop, like there was nobody in the store and hello, you know what I mean? It was a very bad vibe local business wise. And so there was a huge demand for online custom uniform suppliers. And then we hit the market at the right time where pretty much most colleges, high school, athletic directors, Pee Wee football, AAU, all these people, they pretty much became internet savvy enough, pretty much, because it's like they're not the most tech oriented people, right? So they became internet savvy enough. So we came into the right time, and then it was really hard to sell our software product. However, they really wanted the uniforms and like an online automated concierge simple way where I just call somebody or fill out a form online and I get uniforms. So we built that and we became a B2B e-com company. And I remember my first high ticket sale. I scraped some emails. Back then, cold email was effortless. You just scrape some emails and send them. It's way harder to do cold email now. So I scraped some emails of local high schools and stuff, and I mass emailed them. And then I got a $7,000 sale just with a random email and like a one-page Squarespace website. And I'm like the endorphins of making 7 grand with a cheap Squarespace website and no experience was insane. So we closed that deal, and then my partners looked at me. They're like, "How did you do that?" I'm like, "Do what?" Like, how did you just get a $7,000 sale with a random email? And I'm like, "Oh, is this hard?" I'm just like, I have no idea. I had no idea. And then, so we started with just randomly emailing and calling people. And then we started doing Google ads. And it's people go on Google to find custom uniform providers. They're like, custom uniform store near me, printing shop near me. It's what if we go on Google and get in front of those people and then sell them? You know what I mean? So we're like, that sounds right. And so we kind of just did it. And then I'm really good with numbers, right? So it's right, accounting background, whatever. So I'm like, okay, if we get 10 clicks and a click is like 70 cents, it was so cheap back then. And I get 70 cents a click. And then after every 20 clicks, somebody becomes like a lead. And then we close 1 out of 10. That's $200. But we make like 500 to $1,000 in profit of each order. So it's like, why don't we just keep doing this, but way more? So we just spend more and more money on Google ads. And then we started scaling the brand. And I think we did 7 figures in our first 6 months or something like that. I forgot, honestly. Now it's like it did 11 million last year. So it's like a pretty
Wow.
big brand with 50 employees. It's one of the biggest sports apparel brands. Our biggest customer is MrBeast. I got MrBeast with Google Ads. Yeah. So I manage all their advertising. Yeah. Logan Paul, SpaceX, Apple, LA Fitness, the FBI.
Jeez.
We got, so I'm really good at running ads to get really impressive B2B business to enterprise like clients. I'm really good at that. And so we got like all these SpaceX, Apple, all these people, MrBeast, they became our clients over time and we provided them custom apparel. But yeah, then we pivoted to Google Ads after being super scrappy. And then there's something called SEO, which is incredible. SEO is like when you're on the front page of Google and the traffic is free. And so we started getting free traffic on Google and we're like, what? We're getting free traffic on Google and they're becoming leads and buying? Wait, what are you talking about? So we don't pay for ads. They just go on our site from Google for free. And so like we went hard on Google search, we went hard on SEO. Now SEO is extremely competitive. Now Google Ads is extremely competitive. So we have more advanced advertising strategies now, like far more advanced. I'm a growth consultant in the company now. I left as like a investor slash growth consultant, but I helped them scale to 8 figures. We did 11 million last year. We do about 7 figures a month now. And yeah, so then we did Google Ads, and SEO is my favorite form of marketing because it's free. There's nothing in this world that feels like free money except SEO. And now it's AIO. Like right now I help other marketing agencies scale. And like I'm scaling 2 AIO agencies, which is artificial intelligence optimization, where just SEO is like getting on the front page of Google, but AIO is becoming the most recommended on ChatGPT. So right now we're really focused on ChatGPT optimization. Hey, what's the best place to buy custom basketball uniforms? And then ChatGPT will recommend you. And so, yeah, and then we scaled to a successful company. So that became a successful company. Everybody always asks me, hey, Max, can you run ads for me? Can you run ads for me? And so I'm like, okay. So then I accidentally started an agency because people wanted me to. And so I started like an ads agency primarily focused on like high ticket brands because that's what my experience was. And my agency is pretty small. It's not like this huge agency or anything like that. It's just me and a bunch of contractors, but it's just like a really good cash flow business. And yeah, so that's really my story. And then I have a bunch of businesses now, all primarily lead gen to high ticket. So I just started a siding company, which no joke might be my most successful company. So it's literally it's so simple. Like run ads, get somebody who needs siding, done. Like it's just I love this simplicity of like home improvement. So just I my main thing is I started businesses where I do lead gen online in an automated high leverage way. I find B2B customers that are like high ticket and then I sell them something at high margin. That's really the game I play. Yeah. And then I
Wow.
have an ecom portfolio. I have another ecom portfolio that does really well, but my brother runs that stuff. And my brother is a super mathematical engineering guy. He's better at ecom because ecom is Excel sheets and you have to count every penny and freight and warehousing. And we have a 10,000 square foot warehouse and this. I just don't want to do that. I want to run ads, get leads, close the leads, sell them something like Cole and whoever runs closers. That's
I
the game I
love it.
play.
What a
Yeah,
story, man.
yeah, I think it's really not crazy. I wasn't technically, I was gonna say I'm not born out of poverty or anything like that. I have amazing parents. I have an amazing family. I've never been hungry ever. Technically, I was born in Moscow ghetto, where I was like, my family was super poor, but I was never hungry. I was never this, that. So I don't have this up and coming. I was a really smart college student. And then I fell into the internet. It's not that crazy. I wish I was like adopted. And was homeless. But no, none of that. It just started a company, became successful, and then pivoted to other things. Yeah,
Wow. Love it, man. Love it. You got a lot
sure.
going on right now, like you said, but could you talk us through and walk us through your favorite company that you're scaling right now and what you're working on?
So my two favorite ones is my paper lead company where we're focused on selling leads to insurance companies and like legal services companies. So basically my job in the business is the biz dev side where I find like insurance companies with hundreds of salespeople and convincing them to buy our leads. That's my part of the business. That's what I enjoy doing. So like papered lead, I'm trying to get a lot of big, impressive companies with large sales team to buy my insurance leads and stuff like that. So I'm really focused on that. That is a very relationship heavy business. In paper lead, you don't make money. You make money with volume. People think, oh man, you make so much money every lead you sell, and there's no cost of goods. There's cost of goods. There's a ton of cost of goods, but it's a very high volume business. That's how you make money in paper lead or pay per call. So the way you make money is you get big buyers who buy a lot of leads and you make a little bit of money off every lead, generally speaking. There's other ways, but that's really the gist of it. And so I'm really focused on getting big buyers who can buy a lot of volume of leads. So I make a little bit of money per lead and truly scale that way. Paper lead is like a combination of e-com and marketing agency. So if you're not super into e-com because of the warehousing and the this and the that and the freight and the manufacturers and the language barriers and speaking to people at 2 a.m. in the morning. So if you're not super into e-com, but also if you're not super into marketing agency, where like you have a lot of clients and marketing agencies, they're just labor businesses where you get a lot of labor, you know what I mean? And it's constant revolving door, and your best employees leave and start their own agency, and your worst employees stay because they suck. So it's a tough business. If you're not super into marketing agency and you're not super into ecom, those two have a baby called paper. It has some of the worst parts of e-com is out and the worst parts of agency is out. I really paper lead for that reason. I'm also really focused on the insurance since now really invested in insurance lead gen. I'm starting my own insurance firm where like I just get lead gen for my own sales reps. And so that's very early stages, but I'm eventually going to build my own insurance sales team and probably make way more money doing that. A lot of people in paper lead, they start selling leads and for a certain industry, and then they just build their own business in that industry. Because they just do the math. Like I make $5, 10, 20, $30 in profit per lead. But if I just hire my own salespeople and just sell it, I make $300 in profit. So it's just so a lot of people in paper lead, they start in paper lead and they start their own business. So I'm starting my own insurance firm. That's going to be a very easy, profitable business, in my opinion. And then I did terrible at home improvement leads. I sold home improvement leads and I did terrible at that. However, I learned, I'm like, this is like, all I got to do is just like run ads, get leads, and I'm really good at lead gen. So I got that locked down. And so instead of dealing with these terrible home improvement lead buyers who are so unorganized, some of them can't even read, half of them didn't pay their invoices. I'm like, I'm just gonna start my own home improvement company. And then I'm like, I just went with siding because siding leads are relatively very easy. Like I'm getting $35 per booked call for my siding company. And I'm like, if I just close 1 out of 5, 1 out of 10, I'm gonna do very well. And I just love the simplicity of siding. Like it's just so simple. It's like AI proof. It's funny, home improvement, once you get lead gen down, the only problem in home improvement-esque businesses, construction, is labor. I spend more time on labor lead gen than customers. The customers we already got, we cracked it. We dialed that in. I'm getting like $35 book calls on repeat, which is ludicrous. Oh my God. Any niche, if you get $35 per book call for a high ticket service, that's ridiculous. We're doing lead gen for labor. It is so hard to get reliable, trustworthy, hardworking, on time, responsive labor because one of the main reasons is it's a localized business. And when you have a remote internet company like Closers, the whole world is your hiring market. But I have my siding company in New Jersey, New York, where I'm based. It's so local. And you can only hire people in this area. And my God, it is way more difficult to hire for a local business than it is for an online business because you can't, like planet Earth, you guys can hire planet Earth. I can hire from like this area of New York and New Jersey. Like we had a big deal in North New York, upper New York City. And then we just couldn't get our labor up there. We would have to get an RV. We'd have to get this. And then the person's, we really need you guys. We really want to buy your siding installation. And I'm like, dude, I can't. It would cost me $500 just to get labor up there. Yeah, it's just that. So it's funny in home improvement, the issue is not lead flow. There's like an infinite amount of people who need to improve their house. And so the leads are there. The problem is labor. So I'm doing labor lead check. So where I'm running ads to hire workers. So like I have these lead gen systems to be like, yo, to hire literal people. Like it's crazy. So it's funny. So in the construction home improvement world, it's not about marketing, it's about hiring people, which is insane. So like you talk to any construction company, you're in Scottsdale,
I'm in Florida, but Closers is
which
based in
part of
Scottsdale.
which part of Florida?
Jacksonville, St. Augustine, so Northeast.
Cool. Talk to anybody in Jacksonville. Talk to a new home construction, power line, whatever you guys got over there. HVAC. I'm sure you have 4,000 HVAC businesses in Florida because of everybody needs air conditioning. So it's like talk to anybody in the construction home improvement world. It's like ask them what your biggest problem is. Some of the bad businesses will say leads. The good businesses that have figured out Mark, they hired a guy like me, they cracked their marketing. Every single one of them, every single successful home improvement and construction company, almost all of them will be like labor. Oh my God, labor. Because it's also distance is an issue. So let's say you want to build a house in North Jacksonville. It's like you have to find a company that has free labor to go to North Jacksonville, stay in Jacksonville, build a house in Jacksonville, do it profitably and quickly. So it's good luck. You know what I mean? It's so there's a huge labor weird shortage slash it's just weird, man. So this is the first time I've ever built a company where hiring was like such a major headache. I was talking to my business partner, who's also the CTO of all my businesses. I was talking to him. He said, we don't have a lead problem. And I'm like, oh, okay, what's the issue? He's the one in charge of construction and engineering. We need labor. Like we have, so I'm like, oh, fuck. So we turned down our lead gen ads and then we upped our labor. So it's like we're spending more money on running ads to get workers. Is that not insane? I think that's so crazy to me. That's so crazy to me. Yeah. Also, whoever's listening, get into construction and home improvement sales. You have no competition out there, folks. Everybody's trying to sell info products for Tai Lopez. Dude, Tai Lopez, every info company, they have enough closers. It's there you want to focus on whoever builds like a home improvement construction sales agency is going to clean up, dude. Because it's impossible to find salespeople who understand construction, who understand square footage, material, supplying, labor, discussing labor. Oh, we need an RV. Oh, you need to get a hotel room for the staff. Those are nuances that you need to understand. I'm currently interviewing salespeople for the home improvement stuff. And dude, no one has construction experience. And I'm like, guys, don't apply unless you have construction experience. Every single resume, no construction experience. It's crazy. And same thing with insurance, it's way easier to hire sales reps for. But I don't know if I went on a tangent, but yeah. So I'm mainly focused on my paper lead and in my siding company right now. Yeah.
Wow,
That's
love
pretty
it,
cool.
dude. Love it,
Yeah.
dude. You're obviously a whiz at marketing. Could you leave us with one marketing tip?
Yeah, don't sell things that are hard to sell. Don't sell things that are hard to sell, man. Don't go against the grain, man. Avoid competition. Stop optimizing for every click. Stop optimizing for every CPM and the this and the that. If it's such a grind to scale your lead gen, just don't keep pivoting and iterating until you find something that's so easy to do lead gen for. You don't have to worry about every click. You don't have to worry about every CTR. If you're examining your click-through rates and cost per clicks so heavily, you're screwed, man. Because it's probably go after blue oceans. Please avoid competition. My siding company, it's wide open, dude. I'm getting book calls for $35. It's insane. And I just started the company, dude. I'm just getting $35 book calls. And I'm starting an insurance firm in a certain niche of insurance that's very uncompetitive. So my best advice, stop competing. If you have to hire an agency every 3 months and you have to optimize every click and you have to make 700 ads a month to find a winner, you're probably in a red ocean that's too competitive. It's better to zoom out, chill out, find something less competitive that people want and focus on that. It's way easier to make money out with that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
The most valuable company in the world is Nvidia, and they have no competition. They have no competition. It's if you look at the best companies, a lot of them, Amazon, their most profitable division is AWS. AWS didn't have a competitor for 7 years. So it's my best advice to anyone in lead gen, stop competing. That's my best advice.
Stop competing. You
Yeah.
heard it here. I love it. Max, such a pleasure having you on. Where can the listeners find you? Where can they connect with you online?
Yeah, just so my moniker is Max Av, Max space AV, or just Google Maxim Avshalumov, Maxim Avshalumov. It's probably going to be somewhere here. Just Google me, you'll find me on every social network. I'm hyper responsive. I respond to every DM, every LinkedIn message, blah, blah, blah.
Love it. Max, thanks so much for your time. Pleasure having you on.
You got it, my friend. We'll talk.
Thanks, brother. And that will wrap up another inspiring episode of the Founders Future. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to go and connect with Max on all of his social medias. He said he responds to his DMs very quickly. So go pick his brain. He is clearly a very good marketer. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're looking to scale your business and you really want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with our team and discover how we went from 0 to 30 million per year in less than 3 years. Until then, keep on climbing.